All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's 12. It's time to get started. Sorry, I didn't say anything before. I was linking the stream to other places, so they can, so it can link other people from other different social medias over to what I'm doing and, the whole thing I'm doing for this channel as a whole. But we are back. It is time to read more One Piece. So let's go ahead and get the formalities out of the way, shall we? Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another live reading of One Piece. Today, we are going to be going through Volume 17 of the series titled, well, Hiriluk's Cherry Blossoms. So, yeah, Hiriluk's Cherry Blossoms. And going through this, we are going to be going through chapters 146 to 155. So, let's go ahead and get started with a little bit of a recap. Sorry, let me turn the volume down here. Just wanted to make sure that the audio was fine for everyone. The Story of One Piece, Volume 17. Monkey D. Luffy started out as just a kid with a dream, and that dream was to become the greatest pirate in history. Stirred by the tales of pirate red-haired Shanks, Luffy vowed to become a pirate himself. That was before the enchanted devil fruit gave Luffy the power to stretch like rubber, at the cost of being unable to swim. A serious handicap for an aspiring sea dog. Undeterred, Luffy set out to sea and recruited some crewmates. I looked at it. I looked at that crewmates portion wrong. I saw crewmates, but then my mind was wanting to read out master, so I kind of flubbed that a little bit. Luffy set out to sea and recruited some crewmates: Master Swordsman Zoro, treasure hunting thief Nami, lying sharpshooter Usopp, and Sanji, the high-kicking chef. Having reached the Grand Line, Luffy and crew promised to take Princess Vivi to Alabasta in order to prevent Baroque Works from taking it over. But after a fierce battle on the island of Little Garden, Nami suddenly comes down with a high fever. In search of a doctor, the crew arrives at Drum Island, where they encounter Chopper, a blue-nosed reindeer that walks on two legs and even talks. Fascinated by this living marvel, Luffy tries to recruit him as one of the crew. Meanwhile, Wapol, the former king of Drum Island, with a very unusual appetite, has returned to reclaim his throne and his castle, and only the Straw Hat Pirates stand in his way. Chapter 146, Battle to Defend the Kingdom. Django's Dance Heaven, Volume 16, Lord of the Dance. And it shows that Django pretty much won the dancing contest, with everyone cheering him on, and even the person that he was going up against, cheering him on as well, and the announcer tearing up from such a beautiful display of sportsmanship and dance. But the last chapter pretty much ended with Luffy beginning to punch Wapol? I call him Waffle. I called him Waffle. With Luffy beginning to punch Wapol, and then we got the whole backstory of Chopper and Dr. Hiriluk. And then after the flashback ended, it continued the Gum Gum Bullet attack, and it sends Wapol flying. So now we get to see what happens as Luffy sends Wapol flying with Gum Gum Bullet, with Chess and Kuro Marimo screaming, "King Wapol!" "Ah!" goes Luffy as he screams out in frustration and anger. And then it cuts to Dr. Correa. "What's going on?" "Those guys. What are they doing here?" And then it cuts to Chess and Marimo holding a Wapol by his legs because he almost fell off the mountain. "Phew, that was close." And Wapol can barely hold on because he almost got knocked out. "I owe you guys some lumps." "And I don't have to hold back anymore." Because remember, due to the current situation, all this time, Luffy hasn't been really able to fight because he had Nami in his arms. It's been hours since he's been able to fully fight. It's been hours. So now, since he doesn't have anyone on him, he can fully fight the way he wants to.
And I don't have to hold back anymore. Ugh, how dare you attack King Wapple? To be fair, if you type in Waffle One Piece on Google, you get Wapple. Man, ain't that something? Ugh, how dare you attack King Wapple, the exalted ruler of Drunk Kingdom? I've realized now that whenever I use that particular voice, I'm really channeling my Keith Silverstein a little bit. I really noticed that. Wow, I never noticed until now. How dare you attack King Wapple, the exalted ruler of Drunk Kingdom?
He is the king, the absolute ruler of this entire island. You'll pay for your insolence.
A king? Who cares? You guys stink!
You know them, boy.
Yeah, they're a bunch of annoying pirates. They keep getting in the way. That one even tried to eat my ship, but I'll fix them. Never mind that. Aren't you cold? Huh? See? And then it cuts, to Luffy going, did they say he was a king? So they're not pirates? It took you that long? The fool just realized his blunder. Indeed, this personage is the king of Drum Island. Hey, it's cold here! You just realized that too?
It's below 50.
They're ignoring us!
And then Wapple gets up. Mah! King Wapple!
You maggots! You have incurred my wrath! I'll eat you alive!
Can you wait a minute? He went to get some warmer clothes.
He did what?
And then it cuts to Wapple running towards Sanji. And then it cuts to Chopper.
Can I ask you something?
Huh?
That boy can stretch, right?
That's right. He's a rubber man.
What's that?
Basically, he's a monster. And then Chopper just looks at Sanji like, oh. And then it cuts back to Wapple again.
Dalton is dead. All that's left is that old insurgent witch and the Straw Hat Gang. Once we take care of them, nothing will stand in our way. Yes, Your Majesty. Your rule will be restored at last. Leave it to us, King Wapple. We'll crush these rebels.
I don't know what you were thinking, Dr. Kureha, but it was foolhardy of you to move into the king's castle.
I have no interest in this rundown heap of rock, but this fellow insisted on erecting a memorial to Hiriluk here.
King Wapple, it's...
The monster! Yes, he's the monster that followed Hiriluk, as Chopper transforms in front of Chess and Koromarimo's eyes. And they remember when Chopper charged them before Hiriluk died. You know, before Hiriluk went out on his own terms in a massive explosion.
Dr. Hiriluk just wanted to save this country. I won't let you set one foot in this castle! And I won't let you take down his banner of faith!
And he says Banner of Faith as it points to Dr. Hiriluk's pirate flag at the top of the castle.
At last, everyone I really want dead is here. Show no mercy. Kill them all.
I wasn't even interested in these guys. Are you gonna fight them too, old lady?
I suppose if you can't handle it.
Ugh, thanks a lot. Because it shows Kureha knocking another lump into Sanji's noggin for calling her old again. Then it cuts to Kuromarimo. For turning this sacred castle into a memorial to that bumbling quack, you'll die first, Dr. Kureha! Marimo static cling! And it cuts to him throwing like some fuzz in the direction of Dr. Kureha.
Doctor!
And before it gets even close to her, Sanji blocks it. Sanji blocks it with a kick. Hey, Afro man. Throwing hair? That's no way to treat a lady.
You're in trouble.
And then Chopper just breathes out a sigh of relief. You fell for it, goes Kuromarimo, as he smiles deviously. Huh? What the? It won't come off. What's with this stuff? Static cling. Exactly. And I've got lots more. Marimo's static cling. And it cuts to Marimo taking out more of his hair and flinging it at Sanji, and these big clumps of hair are just sticking to him. Hey, reindeer, don't just stand there. Help!
Right! Huh?
Get these off me, quick. They're just hair, but they're grossing me out.
Ah! It's stuck on me! Take it back!
Don't do that. Take one at least. Ugh!
What are you two doing?
And then it cuts to someone walking into Nami's room, and it's Luffy going, cold, clothes.
What's going on out there?
It's cold. Where are my clothes?
I'm not talking about the weather. What's the ruckus?
Oh, just a fight.
Is it serious?
Nah, go back to sleep. I love how casual Luffy is with this. You got Wapple trying to come back in, and he's all like, nah, it's nothing serious. Just go back to sleep. I'm trying to look for me some clothes. Just get some rest. Nah, go back to sleep.
You can wear my jacket.
But it doesn't look cool.
It's better than yours.
You think so? Okay, as long as it's warm. All right, now I'll clobber that nuisance.
Well, probably just playing around.
Not realizing that Wapple's outside.
Your teamwork is terrible. You should know this about Marimo's hair. It's extremely flammable.
Uh-oh, he's gonna set fire to the hairballs.
You were a distraction!
And I was bait.
Checkmate!
Hot! Snow! As it cuts to Chess shooting a flaming arrow at Sanji and setting fire to one of the hairs. As Sanji desperately tries to find some snow to stick it in.
Get off this island!
What?
Move, Chess! As it cuts to Wapple. It cuts to Wapple, who shoves Chess out of this aside and opens his mouth up really wide.
King Wapple!
Blast!
Chopper!
Ah, nice and warm. Luffy, stretch out and grab my feet. Feet? Okay. Like this? Good. Now don't let go. And Luffy just stretches his arms and latches onto Sanji's leg. Armée de l'Ia! Huh? Oh! And then it cuts to Chopper, who's in the process of being eaten by Wapple, and Sanji uses Armée de l'Ia! Air Assault! And kicking forward with all of his strength, he sends Luffy flying forward towards Wapple. And Chopper is screaming inside of Wapple's mouth. I'll add some spins! And Wapple can only look in horror as Luffy spins and just headbutts him directly in his midsection, causing him to also spit out Chopper in the process. And then sending Wapple flying back to his little... sending him flying back to his woolly hippo. And it winds up sending the hippo flying into the air in the distance, leaving only Kuro Marimo, Chess, and Wapple. Sorry, I was just making sense of the pages. Sorry if it seemed like my pacing slowed down a bit. But the air just bursts open as Robson gets sent flying. Now then. And both Chess and Marimo look surprised.
Ah!
And then Chopper.
Thank you. You guys are amazing.
Hey, Luffy, that's Nami's jacket. Look, he's still alive. Take it off. The hippo flew off somewhere, though. King Wapple, are you hurt?
They're stronger than we thought. I'll kill them. It's time for the Munch Munch Factory.
And that's the end of chapter 146. Onwards to 147, Frauds. And then it cuts to those doctors that were once serving Wapple. They go, Dalton's still alive. He was frozen. That's all. Leave him to us.
It's the 20 doctors!
And then we cut to Zoro and everyone back at Bighorn. Look at all those doctors.
Where'd they come from?
Are those the doctors from Wapple's ship? Ah, they're evil doctors! Wait, we can't trust them. They work for the king. What do you intend to do with Dalton? If you want to save him, do as we say!
We're still doctors. We were forced to do the king's bidding, but our medical research will benefit the entire kingdom. One quack doctor taught us to never give up hope. We should listen to fools like that more.
Wow, so the 20 doctors that served Wapol respected Hiriluk. They respected Hiriluk after all this time. You gotta love it. Then it cuts to Wapol, who's spitting out blood, going,
I'll show them the true power of the Munch Munch fruit.
He can
stand after that?
Wow, he's tough.
King Wapol!
I like doing Chess's voice. I just like doing his voice.
Chess, tell them what I had for breakfast. Yes, sir. This morning on the ship you had 1 cannon sauteed in butter, 1 fresh cannon, a bomb, and an explosive salad. And in the village you had 1 grilled house.
He eats funny stuff. Doesn't sound healthy.
Now you will tremble before my full Munch Munch powers after a meal!
Yo, Ozzy, you made it just in time. We started on the 2nd chapter of Volume 17, and we're seeing Wapol talk about all the stuff he had for breakfast and lunch, apparently. All the stuff he had for breakfast. He eats funny stuff.
Doesn't sound healthy.
Now you will tremble before my full Munch Munch powers after a meal!
He's going to do something!
The things I eat eventually become my blood and my flesh! Munch Munch mutation!
What's that?
Wapol House!
And Wapol basically turns into a big... He basically turns into a big house with cannons for arms.
A house? Wow!
Goes Luffy.
Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet! Behold the royal technique! Munch Munch Factory!
And then both Kuromarimo and Chess look horrified as Wapol eats the both of them. He just eats both Kuromarimo and Chess at the same time. Huh? And then it cuts to Kuromarimo and Chess as they scream because Wapol's eating them.
He's eating his own men!
Cannibal! Goes Luffy. And then it cuts to the cannons. It cuts to the cannons on his arms, and a chimney on his head, just pushing out smoke.
And now the miraculous fusion! Behold!
What? Those two couldn't have merged.
I am
the mightiest warrior in Drum Kingdom.
As the Wapol House door opens up.
Chess Moneymo!
And it cuts to both Chess and Marimo. Chess and Kuromarimo pretty much coming out of the Wapol House. Like, I'm just trying to make sense of this. It cuts to them coming out of the Wapol House and they're combined. Like, they're combined together.
Chess Moneymo!
Are they serious? He's just riding piggyback.
Yeah, they look like they're fused, but they're just on top of each other. It's just weird. They're weird. They are weird.
That's cool!
That's not cool, it's stupid!
Don't underestimate them,
Goes Dr. Correa.
Huh?
If they were weak, the citizens would have risen up and stopped them from taking all the doctors. The first article of the Drum Kingdom's constitution states...
This is Wapol saying this.
The first article of the Drum Kingdom's constitution states, whosoever defies the king's wishes shall die. This is the foremost law of the land. This is my kingdom, and this is my castle. That quack doctor's flag must come down. It ruins the whole look.
As Wapol aims his cannon arm at the Dr. Hiriluk's flag at the top of the castle, and he pretty much blows up that entire stack.
Huh?
And then it cuts to Usopp and company back in Bighorn.
Usopp, Mr. Bushido, let's go up that mountain. We have to help them, and I'm worried about that avalanche too.
And then I'm thinking this is still Vivi going, what if Wappa went up there and Dr. Correa may have come home and Nami's fever was so high? And then it cuts to Usopp.
Yeah, and then there's Dalton and Alabasta. Calm down, Vivi. You worry too much. Luffy and Sanji are with Nami. I'm sure they're just fine. She's in good hands. I have faith in them.
And then it just cuts to Vivi thinking,
You're right. It's important to have faith in your friends. Thank you, Usopp.
she says, like the 4 words she was thinking, but she says it here.
I...
You're afraid to go up the mountain, huh?
Well, I hear there's a giant snowman up there and bear-like rabbits.
Then just admit it.
Don't worry, those two will be fine. And so what if I'm scared? You got a problem with it?
Because it cuts to when Usopp was saying all of this stuff, he seemed fine, but this dude is terrified to go up the mountain. Dalton, don't get up!
Out of my way. If we don't fight now, then when will we?
Dalton!
Hey, mister!
Who's that guy again?
This is our one chance to be free of that tyrant. We must fight him now or live as slaves.
But you're hurt. What can we possibly do?
I'm going to fight, whatever the cost, even if I have to become a villain myself.
And then Usopp, seeing all this, walks up to Dalton and goes,
Get on my back. I'll carry you to the castle.
Okay, Usopp, okay. Then it cuts back to Chimney Mountain. After Wapple shot Dr. Hiriluk's flag off of the castle. The pirate flag! Hey, reindeer, that flag! And it cuts to Luffy, who stops talking and he looks at Chopper.
What have you done to the doctor's pirate flag?
Fools! Kill them!
Yes, sire.
And then they both go,
What?
as Chopper slips underneath Kuromarimo, and he makes his way towards Wapple, and then he grows to a larger size and jumps on Wapple's face.
The doctor even tried to save you!
But don't blame all humans. This country is sick right now.
That's a flashback of Dr. Hiriluk.
Why, doctor? This man isn't worth saving!
And then it cuts to Chopper, who wants to hit Wapple.
I won't hurt you, but leave this country forever!
Huh?
What are you saying, Chopper? You can't reason with him! But at least...
And then, before Chopper can realize it, Wapple immediately shoots Chopper. He immediately shoots Chopper.
Chopper!
And then it cuts to Luffy, who's already at the top. Already at the top. I saw the word up and I said top. Already at the top of the castle, reattaching the pirate flag that Dr. Hiriluk had up there. Hey, nuisance!
King Wapple! King Wapple!
Look,
Huh? Straw Hat!
you're a bunch of frauds. You pretended to be pirates, but you weren't willing to risk your lives. You don't know the meaning of this flag!
What?
Luffy!
And that's the end of chapter 147. We got an SBS, and then we can move on to chapter 148. Oda! Before we begin the SBS corner, we have the S, sum, S, small, M, mistakes corner. This is for everyone who purchased the first printing of volume 16. First, about Chopper's name. Tony Chopper is what it says, but this was a typo. It really should be Tony Chopper. And the typo is that it separates Tony away from each other when it's supposed to be together. So that's the typo. So please remember that. What? It doesn't matter? Oh well, I just thought I'd bring it up. Alright, go on to the question corner. Reader, hello Oda-sensei. Recently, a lot of people have been wanting to shout out the start of the SBS corner. Actually, I'm one of them, but I'm sure you want to say it, so let's each do half. Ready? SBS will now be... Gin. Huh? Because Oda only got to say the Gin part. Reader, where is Oh Come My Way? Is it near my house? Oh Come My Way? Well, this is a difficult question, but it's a place where people who have come out go to walk. And I think it exists anywhere. Yow! Reader, Oda-sensei, a question about the helmets worn by the giants Bragi and Dori. One resembles a Celtic horn helmet, and the other seems to be from the Swedish Vendel period. Not sure when that was. Am I correct? Answer! Well, the inspiration for the warriors of Elbaf, the tribe of giants, was my favorite pirates of the north, the Vikings, so you are absolutely right. Banzai to those intrepid spirits. Now, Chapter 148, Unbreakable. Django's Dance Heaven, Volume 17, the post-battle celebration. And it cuts to... I'm just now realizing. Okay, so I was about to say, like, Django's chilling and everything, but I'm just now realizing that the dude that Django was dancing against was Lieutenant Fullbody. I'm just now realizing that. Like, I was looking at the hair and I was thinking, this dude looks awfully familiar. Then I looked at his hand and it looked like he had some brass knuckles on his hands. And I was thinking, that's Fullbody. I'm just now noticing that Django met Fullbody here. And he was the dude that he was dancing against. How did I not notice that it was Fullbody this whole time? Okay, Chapter 148, Unbreakable. And then it cuts to Usopp going,
Don't worry, I'll carry you to the castle.
And then it cuts to, Usopp is going,
Don't worry, I'll carry you to the castle.
And Zoro's watching Vivi,
Usopp.
and all the crowd is just watching as Usopp struggles. Usopp struggles to pick up Dalton because Usopp is not, physically strong. It won't work, Usopp.
Yes, it will. I'll carry you all the way. You want to fight for your country and defeat Wapol, right? Well, don't worry. I can't let such heroism be wasted.
And then Zoro just goes, that idiot. Top of the mountain, right? And then Zoro just comes up and picks up Dalton with one arm and just carries him over the shoulder. Now that you said it, I kind of remember the previous pages, Fullbody had Marines with him. Yeah, that's the thing. If this is Fullbody at this dance, he more than likely had... There was Marines in the crowd that were dancing as well. And since Django is trying to hide... How much longer will it be before he gets found out or whatever? And this is why the cover stories are a must-read. And that's the reason why I'll be reading every single one. To the top of the mountain, right? And then Usopp starts getting kind of angry, and he's gritting his teeth, and his snot's coming out of his nose.
Zoro! Why you? Why you?
Ouch! Hey, what are you doing? Because it cuts to Usopp, who's just kicking Zoro in the leg because Zoro basically just showed him up. After that big old speech that Usopp had, Zoro just comes along and picks him up. It's a shame they didn't adapt the cover stories in the anime. They would work very well like One Piece shorts. It would work out very nicely. Like shorts, like usually you don't pay attention to them because, but the cover stories could work out very nicely as like short animations. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. It can just be like short animations.
I was about to get serious!
As it cuts to Usopp, who's fuming that Zoro basically just showed him up in front of a whole crowd. Yeah, I know. And then Vivi's just walking alongside them. Hold it! If you insist on going, 30 minutes! Give us 30 minutes and we'll fix one of the ropeways to the castle. It'll make the trip a lot faster.
But how? There aren't any ropeways connected to the castle anymore.
There's one. Somebody stretched a white rope from a giant tree outside Gyasta to the castle.
Gyasta? That's the name of the town that Dr. Korea was going to.
Then it cuts back to Chimney Mountain. And it's Luffy still at the top with the flag.
The meaning of that flag, you say? There's no meaning to a stupid pirate flag. That shows how much you know.
What? I feel like Wapple keeps saying the word what every single time. Like, he keeps getting shown up in even just mere words. It's all like, you're stupid, Wapple. What? Hey, Wapple, don't eat that. That is explosive. What? Hey, Wapple, I'm going to send you flying. What? That's literally Wapple's response to almost everything that he doesn't understand. I just noticed. Only Buggy's cover story was covered in the anime, and you think everything else would be. That shows how much you know. What? This flag isn't something you fly on a whim.
Fool! I'm the king! I'd never fly a pirate flag except as a joke! Now stop raising that eyesore!
And then Chopper just looks on, and then a Wapple goes,
I told you this is my kingdom! I'll keep shooting that silly rag down until it stays down!
crap, not again. Get away! Goes Chopper. You can't break it. The skull and crossbones is a symbol of faith! And then Luffy says this as an explosion engulfs him. Luffy!
That was a direct hit!
I blasted him to pieces!
And then it just shows Luffy still standing there. The man took a cannonball and didn't budge. See? It's unbreakable.
What? Impossible! He's alive!
I don't know who it belonged to, but this flag is a promise of life. You don't fly it lightly! And then Wapple's just looking angrily at this individual he just tried to kill. It's not something to be laughed at or shot at! And then both Kuro Marimo, well, Chess Marimo, and Wapple get taken aback by these words.
So this is a pirate. What's a pirate?
Why, the seas are filled with pirates. You must set sail one day and discover just how small your problems really are.
Amazing.
Hey, reindeer! I'm gonna clobber these guys now. What are you gonna do?
Me?
Fool! If you're so determined to protect that flag, I'll destroy you along with that!
And then it cuts to Sanji going, that does it. And Sanji starts running towards Wapple.
The one with the broken back. I like your spirit, but it's too soon.
And then Korea comes up right behind Sanji and hits him directly in the back. And it cuts, I'm guessing, who is saying this? Is this Chopper going, Doctor, stop? Or is it Sanji going, Doctor, stop? But I think this is Chopper going, Doctor, stop! As she kicks Sanji directly in the back and he falls forward.
What are you fools doing? Well, just watch. I'll vaporize them.
King Wapple, look out!
Eh?
Stop! As it cuts to Chopper, who's finally trying to attack. And it cuts to Chess Marimo blocking the attack and, saving Wapple at the moment. All right! Get him, reindeer! Then it cuts to Luffy, who jabs the remaining flag into the remaining rooftop here, as Korea laughs.
That snot-nosed kid is trying to show some gumption.
Oh no!
I won't let you lay a finger
On King Wapple!
But you're a strange creature. You must be the abominable snowman the people used to fear. You poor thing.
I bet
You've led a lonely life, despised by everyone, eh? Eh? Let me read that again. You poor thing. I bet you've
led a lonely life,
despised by everyone.
eh? So why risk
Your life for them. What a laugh! And then I like going back and forth between these voices. As Chess Marimo laughs at Chopper.
Be quiet. I may not have any friends, but I can fight. As long as the doctor's flag is up,
You have a friend! right here, as it shows Luffy as apparently he's launched himself high into the air in order to dive bomb with Gum Gum Rocket towards the fight. You have a friend right here. And then Chopper just looks up as Luffy goes, I'm your friend! Ah! As it cuts to Luffy, who just narrowly misses Wapple on the way down, as Wapple dodges out of the way, and then Luffy gets up.
Straw Hat, are you alright?
I'm fine. I'm made of rubber.
Rubber?
Hey, Reindeer, can you finish him off?
That guy? Easy.
Good, because he's pointing towards Chessmartimo, so Chopper's gonna take care of Chessmartimo, while Luffy takes care of Wapple. And I'll deal with the big nuisance.
Blast you, Straw Hat! Stop bouncing all over the place!
I'm not playing anymore.
You'll finish me off? Ha! Just try it, freak!
Get off of me, you crone! I want to fight!
Just be quiet and watch. Keep moving and you'll end up crippled. For good. He'll be fine. When the time comes, my reindeer will act. My name is Tony Chopper. That name was given to me by the world's greatest doctor. He might have forgiven you for mocking him, but I won't.
You'll pay for this,
Monster! We'll blast you
to smithereens! And then Chopper holds up his hand, and he has something circular in between his hooves.
Rumble Ball!
And that's the end of chapter 148. Onwards to chapter 149, but before that, another SBS. Reader, Oda-sensei! Yahoo! Yahoo! Reader, I have a question. Does Momu belong to the Sea King family? A friend of mine said that he was something called a Sea King. Momu? Actually, I have classified Momu as a sea monster. In our world, we have sea mammals like seals and whales, and it's the same in One Piece. So think of a Sea King as a large creature that lives in the sea, that is not a sea mammal. Question. Reader, does One Piece have a website? Oda, well, it does and it doesn't. One Piece shares the Shonen Jump website. Please take a look. I never tried to look up and see if there was an actual One Piece website where it's just about One Piece. I've never tried looking that up. How have I not thought of this after all of these years? Huh. Interesting. Reader, Oda-sensei, please hear me out. I was standing in a bookstore reading when I thought of something. Does Vivi have any connection to ancient Egypt? Her full name is Nefeltari Vivi, and her father was Nefeltari Cobra, called King Nebra in the 4Kids dub. Why did they change it? It was so dumb. In ancient Egypt, Nefertari had the meaning of most beautiful one or most exalted one, and many queens and princesses had those hieroglyphics on their portraits. Furthermore, Alabasta seems to be a desert nation, and her father's name is Cobra. I'd like to know if I'm right. If so, please acknowledge me as Know-It-All Himiko's rival, Mai Mai. One Piece Wiki doesn't count? I mean, it's fan-made. The One Piece Wiki is fan-made. It's not an official site. It's a fan site that's been made up, but it's pretty much the whole conglomerate of all One Piece knowledge. But I've never tried looking up an actual official website, like an official license sanctioned by Shonen Jump website for One Piece. I never tried looking that up. Ever. I'd like to know if I'm right. If so, please acknowledge me as Know-It-All Himiko's rival, Mai Mai. Oda! I see. So that's what Nefertari means, huh? How nice. Actually, I did model Alabasta after ancient Egypt, and I flipped through a book on Egypt and picked words that sounded interesting. It seemed I managed to pick a nice name, talking to myself. All right, I acknowledge it. You rival Know-It-All Himiko. Chapter 149, Rumble! Django's Dance Heaven, Volume 18, the pirate Django's clothes are discovered. As Lieutenant Fullbody is sitting right across from Django, and Django sees his clothes and he takes a spit take as he's sitting across from Fullbody. So just like you mentioned, Just like you mentioned, Cohagen, yeah, Full Body does indeed have his Marines with him, and they apparently found Django's clothes. And Django is mad nervous that he's sitting across from a lieutenant in the Navy. You know, an individual that he probably wants to avoid. I think there's anime adaptation. There is an anime adaptation of Django's Dance Carnival. It is. It's like a mini, I wouldn't call it a mini movie, but it's a whole episode where it's just one big massive dance number. It's just like one big massive dance number. This whole Mirrorball festival, it has like its own, like, you're right, Vertigo. There's like this whole dance festival that's completely animated. So Django got his own animated section, and Buggy got his own animated section. But then after that, you don't really see too much of cover stories being, turned into animated adaptations. But that's just one thing. And then we come back to Chopper.
The Rumble Ball lasts for 3 minutes. That's all the time you have left.
3 minutes? As if you could defeat
Me?
3 minutes? Cool.
3 minutes? Ridiculous.
And then Chopper eats the Rumble Ball.
Now we'll see something interesting.
Crap, Doctor, let me fight too. As Dr. Correa sits on the back of Sanji, on his spine, his injured spine, to keep him from interfering in the fight.
Rumble!
What can you do? As it cuts to Chess Marimo, brandishing 2 bows and arrows to use against Chopper.
Marimo's
Snow Melting
arrow!
As they shoot arrows at Chopper, and Chopper goes,
Limb boost!
and Chopper goes on all 4s.
Huh? So that's
Your trick. So that's your trick.
you
Form. So you've eaten of the devil fruit.
fruit, huh? A half beast
Like Dalton, you're a reindeer man.
Weight boost!
As Chopper grows to a larger size, which is the big muscular form that we always see him in. He calls it his weight boost.
Wrong! I'm a man reindeer!
It's the same thing!
Anyway, I know all about your 3-stage
Transformation types!
Marimo's Super
Surprise! Quattro!
Hammer! And using all 4 of his arms, Chess Marimo has like big, massive mallets in him. I've seen what you've got. You're just like
Dalton! You'll get stronger with each transformation!
Jumping boost!
And then Chopper jumps high into the air, transforming once more. But you stand no chance.
Against me!
And as they try to hit Chopper, Chopper launches high into the air. Jumping? That's more like flying, goes Sanji. What? As Chopper is airborne. What's that? Because this is a new form. Because we've seen his reindeer form, which is his limb boost. We see his regular state, which is his, chibi size. And then we've seen his human form, which is basically his big weight boost, his big muscular form. But now he has an additional one, where his legs are far more developed, and he's slender, and he's just high in the air. What's that?
Isn't his man monster form
That little man reindeer? This is something
new?
Guard boost!
as Chess Marimo tries to hit Chopper, but his whole body just erupts in fur, and he gets knocked to the side, and he just bounces along the snow. Something else! And then it shows Chopper just standing in the snow with his whole body just enveloped in fur.
Impossible!
You can't win.
Zoan types are limited to 3 transformations. How can you...
Rumble Ball is a medicine that can modify the transformation powers of the devil fruit. After 5 years of research, I discovered 4 more transformations.
7 stages of transformation? And Luffy's just looking back.
Who cares how many
Forms you have. What? And Luffy's just looking back going, 7 stages? What a cool reindeer! And Luffy's eyes just completely light up over the craziness that he's witnessing.
What's wrong with that boy?
The idea of 7 transformations was too much for him. He's delirious, Because it shows Luffy who just completely squats, who completely sits on his legs and just looks at Chopper, completely ignoring Wapol.
The idea of 7 transformations was too much for him. He's delirious.
Are we going to fight or not?
And then Wapol just in the back like, dude, are we fighting?
This little show of yours?
Can't fool me.
It's no show. Arm boost!
And then Chopper transforms once again, but his arms get massively muscular. And in one swift motion, he destroys the mallets of Chessmartimo.
I'd better warn you, my iron hooves can destroy boulders.
Warn me? What arrogance!
Feel real power.
Marimo's super surprise?
Quattro axe!
As Marimo starts using axes instead of mallets now.
Snow slicing blade!
And then all of the snow, they slice, and then it sends a shockwave across the area behind Chopper, and Chopper winds up getting cut in his shoulder a little bit, and the slashes continue behind him, boring big holes in the wall, like big holes enough for a person to walk through, gets bored into the building.
Hey, the castle wall is crumbling.
I'll chop you in.
Into mincemeat. Multi-directional.
Snow splitter!
As it cuts to Chessmartimo trying to hit Chopper, and Chopper is just transforming in different sizes to avoid him.
What happened, little reindeer? If you run away...
How do you expect to win?
And Chopper is just dodging all of these attacks. All these attacks from Chessmartimo going,
Die! Die!
Brain boost!
and then Chopper jumps back, and he's back in his small form again.
I'm not running away. I'm looking for your weak point.
What?
It's over for you. Scope!
And then Chopper puts his hands together. Chopper puts his hooves together in order to, it's like, puts his hands together in order to, in like the shape of a scope, and he stares at Chessmartimo. I love this bookmark. I love it so much. This will be passed down in my family. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's just me. He goes,
Scope!
he's gonna do some kind of death ray blast.
That's just childish. Nuh-uh!
And then it cuts to Wapol as he's thinking to himself,
Now's the time.
and then it cuts to Chessmartimo. What are you doing?
Staring me to death?
I don't have any weak points.
You're just a stupid Zoan.
It's over for you.
As they rush towards Chopper.
Got it!
And then
Got it! His chin!
And then it cuts to Chessmartimo trying to slash at Chopper, but he jumps in the air and dodges away.
Yeah. Huh? Where'd he?
And then as they're looking away, Chopper is right in front of them, but they're looking away, but Chopper is right below them, and he goes back to his arm point, his arm boost again.
Cloven!
Huh? Whoa!
Rose!
And with one massive hit towards the chin, sends Chessmartimo flying into the air, dropping all of their weapons, bloodied face. With a massive crash, they land to the ground. And then Chopper goes back to his brain boost point, his brain boost size.
3 minutes.
He did it! The reindeer did it!
Hey, Luffy,
What?
where'd he go?
Huh? And then they realize that Wapol is no longer around them. So, Chessmartimo has been defeated, but Wapol is still out there. And that's the end of chapter 149. Onwards to chapter 150, but first, another SBS. Reader, what are the steps to producing a comic book? You hear the word storyboarding a lot, but can you tell me what this process is and when it starts? See it as, if you ever see this might be right up your alley for the manga you're trying to create. Oda, storyboarding, eh? Yes, we sometimes go through a big process like that. Let me explain how a graphic novel like this is produced. Step 1. Daze, confuse, First, you're in a total daze. Step 2, step up meeting. Next, you discuss your ideas with the Jump editor. Step 3, brainstorm. You think hard about the story. Step 4, storyboarding. On plain drawing paper, you draw the basic story. Step 5, submit storyboard. You submit your storyboard via fax to the editor and make any necessary revisions. Step 6, fleshing out story. My assistants come to my house and raise heck for 2 or 3 days, adding drawings to the storyboard. Step 7, Jump hits the stands. Jump is sold throughout the land. Step 8, set up meeting. Did I say step up meeting? I meant to say set up meeting. Step 8, setup meeting. Next, we discuss colors and other details with techie Mr. Y, who is in charge of comics. Step 9, creating bonus sections. We add more illustrations and work on bonuses like the question corner. And step 10, the comic hits the stands. Actually, the comic is ready about 1 month before its release. So, whenever a chapter comes out, it's not Oda just drawing it. It's not Oda just drawing it for that whole week and then we get the new chapter. These things are already made a month before they're released on Jump. I don't know if that's still the thing that's happening right now, but it shows you that Oda is already ready to have this stuff get launched in advance. So whenever we get a brand new chapter, that chapter was ready a month ago. Oda, this is the process in a nutshell. This is my usual routine anyway, but every author has his or her own. So the word storyboarding refers to the steps prior to adding all the details and drawings, when we sketch out the rough manga. Chapter 150, Royal Drum Crown 7-Shot Tin Tyrant Cannon. Django's Dance Heaven, Volume 19. Find Django! And it cuts to Django, who's still sitting with full body, as his marines go out and look for Django. And then it cuts to Marimo, who's unconscious. Both Chess Marimo are completely unconscious. And it cuts to Luffy going, "He's gone! Wobble's gone!"
He climbed up here on that furry hippo. He can't get down on his own.
But when did he leave?
While you were going gaga over Chopper's transformations.
Why, that dirty. I'll find him and fix him real quick.
But what if he found a way into the castle? Nami! If that hippo touches one hair on Nami's head, I'll chop it into 100 pieces!
As it cuts to Sanji, who's dragging himself inside of the castle.
Hey, hold it! Does he want to die?
And then it cuts to Chopper looking in one direction, and he notices a door that's open. Another door that's open.
What happened? Is this my drum castle? What have they done to my castle? Unforgivable. I'll kill them all!
And then the door opens, and Wappo looks up there, and it's Nami who's peeking her head out.
I've wasted enough time sleeping. I have to get away before the doctor returns. I've been stuck in bed for 3 days. I can't take anymore. Oh, who's that?
One of the Straw Hat Pirates, eh?
As Wappo is staring down Nami.
Me? A pirate? He's an enemy. I'm just an innocent young girl.
Huh? Oh, really?
Really? I'm just a navigator who's passing through. Goodbye.
Uh-huh.
And then it cuts to Wappo, who says, uh-huh, and he starts climbing. He says, like, uh-huh, as he's climbing up a pillar going right next to where Nami is.
Huh?
Liar!
And then Nami just takes off running as Wappo chases her. And Wappo does not really pay attention to where he's going as Nami goes down some stairs. Wappo doesn't notice that he's too big to go down this little area where these stairs are.
Ah! Oh, I guess I've put on some weight lately. Then it's time for the Munch Munch Factory. I'll just eat myself.
I forgot that Wappo did this. This man starts eating himself. Like his jaw gets big and it starts to curve around and he eats himself. He's eating himself. How? How does that work? Doesn't fit because he isn't fit. I love that. But this man is eating himself, and all you just get is just like a jaw.
What is he doing?
And his jaw, and the only thing that falls is just his jaw as it goes down the stairs.
He turned into a bucket.
Done! My miraculous physique restoration technique!
And then Wapple's body starts to come back outside of his mouth,
The Wapple Slim Down!
and it shows Wapple as a much slimmer and taller individual. But his chin is also longer.
Huh. You can't escape me!
What a weirdo!
And then it cuts to Luffy, who kicks his leg up backwards.
You're dead!
And before he could do anything to Nami, Luffy releases that wind-up kick and kicks Waffle dead in the face. There you are! And sends him flying into the distance. Hey, was he always that thin? Ah! And then it cuts to Nami, who hits Luffy in the back of the head and goes,
Luffy, what did you do to my jacket?
and she says it in like this really, really angry voice, really angry look on her face, like,
What did you do to my jacket?
and he's all like scared as she's just tapping on his shoulder. And then it cuts to Nami going,
Do you know how much that costs? 28,800 berries, and it was on sale!
sorry, but he threw bombs at me and...
Darn. Oh well, it's alright. I forgive you. I knew if I lent it to you, you'd just tear it up anyway. So you can pay me 3 times its value plus interest. That's 100,000 berries you owe me.
Oh, so my thing is, Nami, why would they agree to that? Why would I agree to paying you back the cost of this jacket plus 3 times its value plus interest? Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that? Like, she just thinks people are just gonna be all like, oh, I'm gonna pay you back and I'm gonna do exactly what you say. No, you got it for 28,800 berries, you getting 28,800 berries. No interest. This ain't America Express. This isn't the Federal Credit Union. You ain't getting no extra. That's not how it works.
That's 100,000 berries you owe me.
What? I bet you planned this all along.
Enough!
Wow, he's really in shape.
This is the weapons room, and I have the only key. Weapons of every shape and size are stored in there. I will devour them all, and I will incorporate them into my body with my Munch mutation. And you will see a terrifying human weapon standing before you. Now I shall open the door, the key to the door of fear. It's gone! What?
And apparently Wapple doesn't have the key to even open the door to this armory. And then Luffy's just staring at him. And then Wapple's just staring at him. And then he just starts running.
But I'm not finished yet!
Hey, he's getting away! Stop! And then it cuts to Sanji, who finally drags himself over to where Nami is. Nami, are you alright?
So that's what this is. The key to his arsenal. Too bad. I thought it was the key to the treasure vaults. How boring.
And then it cuts to Sanji, who goes like, Nami, as, he's trying to get her attention. And then it cuts to Wapple, who's running up the big winding staircase at the center of the castle, with Luffy close behind him.
Ah! Blast it! The whole castle is covered with snow. Absolutely unforgivable! They will all pay! They'll know the meaning of my wrath! I'll show them my real power! The ultimate weapon of Drum Kingdom! The Royal Drum Crown 7-shot Tin Tyrant Cannon!
And it's just a big old massive cannon with 7 holes in it. And then it cuts to Luffy, who gets up to the door and goes, I've got you now! This is the end!
Prepare to die, Straw Hat! I'll blast you to bits!
And Wapple pulls on a lever, and then just smoke just comes out. smoke just comes out of the cannon. Nothing more, just smoke. And Luffy just going, huh? And then Waffle's just looking like with a eyes open wide and like a big grin on his face, like, I can't believe this. You ever see someone get so shocked that they're just smiling like, that's exactly how he's looking. And then it shows birds coming out of the cannon holes. Oh, a nest? Snowbirds, goes Luffy.
Why? Why you? How dare you mock me? I am the king of the Drum Kingdom. I am your ruler.
And, like, the bird does not care. And then Luffy, and you can tell that this is forceful by Luffy, his arm flexes as he grabs onto Wapple's face. It flexes as he grabs a hold of him. Your history! I don't care if you're a king or not. There are things that matter more than power.
Doctor? He called me his friend.
Because I'm a pirate! And then it shows Wapple staring scared at Luffy. And that's the end of Chapter 150. Onwards to Chapter 151, The Skies of Drum. Django's Dance Heaven Volume 20, The Attack of Captain Eureka's Tulip Pirates. And it cuts to a bunch of pirates who are just doing this dance while doing a dance, or at least introducing themselves while putting their hands up in the fashion of flower petals, apparently. I had no idea that this guy existed. This is the first time I've ever seen this man. Interesting. Then it cuts to Dr. Kureha's tree, which has a rope to it. A village kid stumbled onto it. We were surprised to see a ropeway here. This used to be Dr. Kureha's old house. And it shows that she has a ropeway that's attached to her old home that leads right back up to Chimney Mountain. Hey, is it safe with this many people? We can't let Dalton fight alone. He's injured. We have to fight too. I understand, but this thing won't move.
Dalton, don't overdo it now.
And it shows Dalton, who's huffing and puffing because he still hasn't fully recovered yet.
Pedal harder! Harder!
What a great view, goes Zoro. Then Dalton can only think of Wapple.
Who do you think you are, Dalton? You said there was no medicine for stupidity, but who's the stupid one now?
Because when Dalton said there's no medicine for stupidity, Wapple used his Munch Munch mutation and he blasted Dalton. And that hurt him even in his, hybrid Zoan form.
So you think you're some hero coming to save the people? Remember your place, vassal!
As he starts to strangle Dalton.
After a week in this cell, you'll realize the error of your ways. This insurgency was a passing fancy. It won't last.
Then it cuts to Kuromanimo, who's just, they're just berating and torturing Dalton. The people trust you. You're an excellent guard. Think it over, Dalton.
That crazy doctor deceived you. He filled your head with dreams. What good will come of sacrificing your status and ruining the country?
As Chess kicks him in the face.
Just say you're sorry and I'll forgive you, Dalton.
And then it cuts to Dalton in the present day as he goes, who cares about status? Who cares about the king? And then it cuts back to Luffy still holding Wapple by the face.
Because you're a pirate, you think my status doesn't matter? You're an idiot, Straw Hat. The Drum Kingdom is a member of the world government. You've committed an international crime.
I don't care about that either. I'm gonna beat you up.
Why, you insolent pup? I'll digest you.
And then it cuts to Wapple trying to bite Luffy, and he goes,
huh?
As Luffy is keeping Wapple from opening his mouth by holding his mouth kind of closed with his fingers. Like, even his outstretched fingers are strong enough to keep the large mouth of Wapple from opening up. Just try and eat me.
Not yet! Munch munch mutation! Tongue cannon!
As Wapple's tongue turns into a giant cannon. His tongue turned into a cannon!
Die!
Ah! And then Luffy screams as the area where they're fighting blows up. And then it cuts to Chopper, who's looking up from the outside, seeing all this happen. Then it cuts to Dalton, who starts coughing up blood.
Dalton!
Goes Vivi, because Vivi's looking after him. I must end his reign. It's the only way.
Politics is about power, not feelings.
Power and order are all that matter. Please, stop! I have patients I need to tend to.
Throw him into the ocean. If he resists, kill him.
Let me go! Who cares about power and order? Thank goodness no one's sick. As it cuts back to Dr. Hiriluk, when he was thankful that when he got up there that no one was actually sick. And then it cuts back to Igaran with Vivi when they were when the Council of Leaders was going on. You were magnificent, Princess Vivi. What's so wrong about wanting your country to have a heart? And then Vivi just listens in on this. And then Usopp notices her, and then he just looks on too. And then it cuts to people going, Dalton! Huh? Goes Zoro. Now listen, people. When we get there and I enter the castle, I want you all to take cover. Because dynamite! Because it shows that Dalton is completely strapped with a long bandelier's worth of dynamite underneath his coat. How he managed to get that under there and no one noticed him at all, especially the people who were tending to him. How did he have the dynamite in there? His jacket had to be opened for the 20 doctors to heal him up and patch him up. How did not a single one of those doctors look further into his coat and notice all the dynamite? Unless he went off on his own and got the dynamite and no one noticed, because that's a lot of dynamite to be hiding in your jacket, partner. Then it cuts back to the castle after the explosion from Wapple.
You fool! You let down your guard!
Nope, you did.
What?
Every single time something happens that Wapple doesn't understand, he is always screaming out, "What?" Every single time. It's a running gag at this point. Nope, you did.
What?
1 and 2. And it cuts to Luffy. It cuts to Luffy, who starts holds on to Wapple's shoulders, and then he starts raveling up his winding up his body like horizontally. He starts spinning in place like over and over and over himself, and he starts stretching.
What? What are you doing?
Stop! Gum. Bogun! As Luffy unravels himself, and the momentum from it causes Luffy to launch Wapple with enough force for his whole body to go straight through the roof. And it really messes up Wapple because he has a tooth missing, he's bloodied all over, and he goes, "Ah!" And then it shows that the rooftop that he's on is right across from Dr. Hiriluk's flag. Ah! And Wapple just looks on in shock, seeing the very object of his frustration just right there. Ah! And then it cuts to Luffy, who just saunters up to where Wapple is. Ah! If you're not willing to put your life on the line, then don't ever touch the skull and crossbones. And then Luffy just punches his fists. Just punches his fists together. And then it shows Luffy stretching his arms so far from the mountain that it reaches one of the towns in the distance. Mind you, the mountain took him 3 hours to climb up. Luffy is stretching his arms to the absolute limit. I love this. Gum.
Hey!
Gum.
Wait! I'll give you a title! Medals!
Gum. Look, at the top of the castle, someone's up there.
Doctor, Drunk Kingdom is? The king has lost to the skull and crossbones. Gah.
How about Vice King?
Bazooka! And with the biggest bazooka we've ever seen Luffy use, he destroys the entire roof and sends Wapol way into the stratosphere. And that is the end of chapter 151. Onwards to chapter 152. But before we move on, what a beautiful chapter. Oh, that was beautiful. Beautiful. Experiencing these chapters like this for the first time, it's magical. I know of these events already, but reading these chapters for the very first time, it's such a different experience for me. Like, I have memories of it, but it's so far off. It's so far off seeing some of these moments happen that it's just beautiful to just read these chapters. I love it. I love it. I love my job. I love my job. I love it! Let's continue. We're nearly there. I mean, we still got quite a ways to go, but we're nearly there. We have 1, 2, 3. After 152, after this chapter, we have 3 more chapters, and then we can call it a session. Chapter 152, Full Moon. And then it cuts to the citizens still on the gondola making their way up to the mountain. And then it cuts to Usopp going,
I'll go take a look. You all wait here.
Then it cuts to a door opening up, and it's Usopp who's trying to shove Zoro out in front. Hey, stop pushing.
All right, I'll help you.
If you're scared, wait here with them.
I'm not scared because
And then it cuts to Luffy, who just flies towards, who's just screaming, going, "Ah! What? Luffy! No, Zoro and Usopp!" And then he lands directly on top of Zoro and Usopp. What are you doing? What are you doing? Your clothes look familiar, so I thought you were more of his men. So you guys climbed up here, huh? I thought you couldn't climb, Usopp.
Don't be silly. I climbed like a mountain goat, but this climb was a real adventure.
We used the ropeway, Luffy. Are Nami and Sanji all right? They're fine.
When that vulture attacked, I was surprised.
Thank goodness.
It flew right for my heart, but at the last minute I leapt to the side with my usual grace.
So what were you doing on top of the castle? Because Usopp is out of it. Zoro, he's just fine, but Usopp actually got bloodied and hit very hard from, Luffy launching himself at them, that he's just delirious. He's got a concussion. Usopp has a concussion. So what were you doing on top of the castle? Kicking the king's butt.
Leave it to Captain Usopp here to stop that vulture in mid-flight. I lassoed its neck and told him my name is Captain Usopp.
And Usopp is just standing in a completely different direction, and then it cuts to Dalton. So that thing that flew across the sky earlier was Wapol? What of the other 2? The reindeer clobbered him. Oh yeah, listen, I found a new mate. What? The reindeer took care of Wapol's men? And then it cuts to Chopper, who's incorrectly trying to hide behind a tree once more. The blue-nosed.
Oh.
And then it cuts back to Chopper remembering who Dalton is, as Dalton is the one who tried to get Chopper to leave instead of, fully fighting him. You're that creature. He fought for us. Thank you. This land will be born again. And then Chopper just looks on, and Luffy just looks on.
Huh? What is that weird creature? A reindeer? A monster!
Leave him alone!
A monster!
And then Usopp just screams out loud, and that scares Chopper, and he starts running away.
Ah! You idiot, that's my new mate!
What? That thing? Now you scared him off!
Yeah!
Wait! Reindeer! And then it just cuts to everyone going, hey. And then it cuts to someone going,
You people!
And it's Dr. Kureha,
You people!
And everyone gulps because they see the old witch apparently standing up there in front of them.
Dr. Kureha!
Happy to see me.
Take that injured man and get to the infirmary. All of you!
Okay. Nami, you better go and get treated.
Shh. If I go back there, we'll have to wait 2 more days before we can set sail for Alabasta. Do you want Vivi to get even more despondent?
And then it cuts to Korea, who kicks through the solid stone, the solid stone wall that Sanji and Nami are hiding behind, and goes,
Get back to the infirmary!
and then they both get beat up as, Sanji gets strapped down, apparently, and Nami gets put to bed as well.
Your wound is worse. You overdid it.
As it cuts to Sanji, who's on that very same torture bed that we saw earlier on when Chopper was first introduced. Sanji's now strapped to that bed. I wonder if that ever got shown in the anime.
Dalton, do you know where the key to the castle's weapon storeroom is?
Weapon storeroom? What are you going to do?
That's my business. Wapple always kept that
key on his person. If that's still true, then it went flying with him.
What? Is that true? Now that's a problem. Doctor, how about waiving the fee for treating our crew and releasing me immediately? What? Impossible! What a silly thought! And I'll be taking all the goods and treasure on your ship as payment, and you're going to stay here and rest for 2 more days. She's right, Nami. Let her finish her treatment. I'm fine. I don't feel like I'm going to die at all now. That's not a very convincing argument. Is this the key you want so badly?
What? You have it?
Is that really it? How'd you get it? I stole it. You've got a lot of guts bargaining with me. Clever girl.
And then Nami just smiles at Korea after Korea realizes that she's been played.
Fine. Your account is paid in full. But as for releasing you, forget it. As a doctor, I can't. Hey, wait a minute. Then give me back that key. Now listen, girlie. I'm going downstairs. Now you listen here, girlie. I'm going downstairs for a while. My coat is in a drawer in the back room, and I don't have any guards posted. And the boy with the broken back's treatment is complete. However, don't try to sneak away. You others, come with me. I have a big job for you.
Okay.
Did she just tell me to get her coat, get Sanji, and sneak away? I think so.
And then it cuts to Dalton, who's just watching all this. Korea literally just told them the method of how they could escape. And then it cuts back to Chopper. Sanji's competition at kicking. I mean, this is Dr. Korea, and she's 139. And she's able to knock down brick walls with a kick, with no visible damage to her person.
I sure ran around a lot. It's already dark. Oh, a full moon.
Hey, reindeer!
He's still looking for me.
Let's be pirates together!
Give it up, Luffy. You're wasting your time.
He doesn't want to be a pirate.
You're wrong. I'm bringing him with us.
Yeah, against his will!
It's not that I don't want to go.
Reindeer!
I can't go. I can't go.
Reindeer! And then Chopper gets down to the ground, and he looks at Luffy. Huh? Reindeer! Let's be pirates together!
I can't. I'm not like them. It's impossible.
It's not impossible. It'll be fun.
He just doesn't get it.
I'm grateful to all of you. Chopper.
And then Nami walks out with her and Vivi dragging Sanji out of the back.
But I'm a reindeer. I have antlers and hooves and a blue nose.
Can you heal his heart?
Nami thinks back to what Korea said to her earlier. Well,
of course I want to be a pirate, but I'm not human like you are. I'm a monster. I can never be part of your group, but I wanted to thank you. Thank you for asking me. I'm going to stay here, but please, come back someday when you feel like it.
just shut up and come with us! And then Luffy just screams that, letting his hat fall off of him. Just shut up and come with us! And then Nami's smiling. Chopper starts tearing up. Zoro goes, yeah, that ought to change his mind. Usopp's smiling. Vivi's smiling. Sanji is currently unconscious because of his medical treatment. And then we just hear him go,
Yeah!
and that is the end of chapter 152. Onwards to chapter 153. Hiriluk's Cherry Blossoms. Django's Dance Heaven Volume 21. What luck! Django on the run. Since the Tulip Pirates have showed up, it allows Django to make a quick escape away from the Marines. Then that's what he's currently taking part in. Okay, let's go say goodbye to the old doc and that Dalton guy.
We should let Chopper go in alone. This could be a tearful farewell.
The doctor
acts tough, but she has a kind heart.
And it cuts to Zoro and Usopp making like snowmen in the background.
Are we really going then? Of course, when Chopper returns, we'll go right down the mountain and set sail for Alabasta. Does that make you happy, Vivi? Yes, especially since we have a doctor.
Doctor? And then, because Luffy doesn't know that Chopper has been studying how to be a doctor by Dr. Kureha. He just knows that Chopper's a reindeer. That's it. That's the reason why he wants Chopper to join. Everyone else knows he's a doctor except Luffy.
Yes, especially since we'll have a doctor.
Doctor?
All right, then. I'll go check on the ropeway. Luffy, come help me.
There's a ropeway? Cool! And it shows Luffy just so happy-go-lucky. Just chilling on the snowball, just messing with it. Then it cuts to Kureha, who walked into the room with Dalton.
Oh, there aren't as many patients as there used to be.
They're gone. They disobeyed your orders.
I see. Bunch of troublemakers.
You forgot, did Full Body fight the Straw Hats after Arlong Park? No. Full Body was bodied by Sanji, and then he was just taken away by his own men. And then we haven't seen him after Sanji bodied him during the whole Baratie arc. So Full Body himself has never done anything to the Straw Hats after Sanji bodied him. They're gone. They disobeyed your orders.
I see. Bunch of troublemakers.
And then it cuts to Kureha, who just opens up some more booze.
Doctor! Huh? Doctor, I need to talk to you. I've been looking for you, Chopper. Go down and help haul out the cannons. Doctor, please listen. I'm going to become a pirate. I'm going with them. What? I'm going to sea. I'm going to be their ship's doctor and sail around the world with them. Don't talk nonsense. You're my only assistant. And who is it that taught you medicine? Don't you have an ounce of gratitude in you? Of course I do. I'm very grateful to you and Dr. Hiriluk, and I love this place.
Hold on, I gotta get my water out of the freezer. I forgot that I put it in there specifically for this. Let me get my water so that way I can keep reading. Be right back. It should only take a couple of seconds. Always good to stay hydrated, even in the midst of a big old reading session. Back to it! Told y'all it wouldn't take me long. Move that off to the side. I gotta fix up my desk a little bit more. Gotta streamline it.
Of course I do. I'm very grateful to you and to Dr. Hiriluk, and I love this place. Then stay here. You'll never get another chance to live in a castle like this. Pirates are worthless scum. You'll end up dead for sure. I don't care! I don't care! Enough! Whoever heard of a seagoing reindeer? That's right, I am a reindeer! But I'm a man too! Well, good for you, but I won't allow it. If you go, you'll do it over my dead body!
And then Kureha throws a knife. Kureha throws a knife at Chopper.
Doctor, please, understand! A crybaby like you? A man? Ha! You're not going anywhere!
As Chopper just takes off through the castle, while Kureha chases after him, throwing multiple butcher knives at him. Then it cuts to the citizens. What's all the racket? Just ignore it. Let's finish this up quick. If we don't hurry and get these cannons in place, she'll come after us with a cleaver next.
Hold it!
Huh?
I won't let you get away!
As it cuts to Chopper running through the crowd of citizens who are moving the cannons, and they're all running away, trying to dodge all the knives that Dr. Kureha is launching at Chopper. And it cuts to Zoro going, awfully noisy in there.
What a bunch of rowdies. Can't they control themselves?
Then it cuts to Chopper, who gets a sled, and then he starts pulling it.
I'm sorry, Doctor, but I want to see the world. What will you accomplish by going to sea? Are you going to chase your silly dreams like that old quack? You're wrong. They're not silly. The doctor's research was completed.
Is that him?
Huh? What's going on? What's going on? Someone's chasing him.
Hey, the ropeway's ready. Huh?
Everybody get in the sleigh. We're going down the mountain. Hold it.
What? And then they see Dr. Kureha throwing multiple knives and brandishing multiple butcher knives as he's running away. What? Hey, look! What the heck is that? Huh? The witch's sleigh! And from a distance, it looks like Chopper is pulling a sleigh across the full moon, flying in the air. But it has a Straw Hat crew hanging inside of the sleigh with Luffy hanging off of the edge, like Usopp is hanging on to Luffy at the end of it, and it looks like they're flying through the air. But really, it's just Chopper running along the ropeway from such a far distance that it looks like they're flying. Then it cuts back to Dr. Kureha, who's just looking on from another spot, from another place. Then it cuts to the citizens, who was all like, did you see that? Nope, I didn't see it. That's how they look. That was Dr. Kureha's reindeer. It came speeding down the mountainside like the devil was chasing after it. And those pirates were in the sleigh. What happened up there? What happened to Wapple? Is Dalton all right? Because not every citizen went up there to see the aftermath of what happened for Wapple and everything. Woohoo! That was fun! Let's do it again!
Idiot, we have to set sail. I thought I was gonna die.
Where are we? Where are we? Oh, Sanji, you're conscious. Are you sure this is what you want?
He was just a stray that got adopted. I don't like tearful farewells,
says Dr. Kureha as she starts tearing up saying this. And then Dalton doesn't say anything, but he just smiles. Follow me!
Ow! A send-off for a ship has to be done in grand style!
This is it! The reaction I've been waiting 30 years for!
Doctor, it wasn't just a silly dream, was it? You really did achieve your goal, right? Or was that a lie, too?
I did it, Chopper! My work is a success!
Did you say that so that I wouldn't be sad when you died? Nothing is impossible for those who fly the flag of the crossbones. Say it again, Doctor! Everything set, kiddies?
Yes, Doctor! Listen, Kureha, this powder. Dr. Kureha, what is this? Because it goes back to the flashback when Hiriluk handed Kureha this powder. Dr. Kureha, what is this?
Just watch.
And then there's explosions, like there's cannon fire all over. It's coming from the castle. Maybe Wapple is shooting fireworks. Idiot, that's cannon fire. Something's happening. We're being attacked in the night.
It's a cannon barrage. Take cover.
Dr. Kureha, all the cannonballs have been fired. All the cannonballs have been fired.
Light up!
This goes Dr. Kureha, and then all the citizens are just watching. And then the snow just starts falling downwards. The snow just starts falling down around Chopper, and Chopper's just looking on, going, wow!
Yeah.
It's so pretty. Dr. Correa!
This is what I've worked 30 years for. It's like a dream.
What wonders fools create. Get out, you quack!
Blast, I was sure that lizard eyeballs would do the trick.
Listen, this red powder is no ordinary dust. When it comes in contact with white snow in the atmosphere...
And then it just cuts to Chopper, who's just crying and bawling his eyes out. I could never do this moment justice, purely. I could never do this justice. I'm not even going to attempt. But he is just crying his eyes out with absolute earnest.
When it comes in contact with white snow in the atmosphere, brilliant pink snowflakes will fall.
Because what Kureha had all those people launch into the air was that powder. And since it's always snowing, the snow then turned pink. As if they were cherry blossoms.
Brilliant pink snowflakes will fall.
Now then, go on, you foolish boy.
As the entire atmosphere is just lit up with a pink hue. Now, mind you, this is black and white on the pages. But the anime clearly shows what the black and white pages were trying to convey. And the whole sky is just turned pink as pink snowflakes just falls down around the country. And Chopper, seeing this, continues to bawl his eyes out.
Go on, you foolish boy.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of chapter 153. We'll move on to chapter 154 after we do this SBS. There's so many great moments like this in this series. And we got 2 more chapters, but first the SBS. Reader! Hello, Oda-sensei. It's me, always serious Aiko. In volume 15, you mentioned writing a fan letter to Toei Animation. I want to write to them, but I don't have the address. Would you give it to me? Thank you very much. And then Oda says, sure, I received quite a few postcards like this, so I got permission from Toei Animation to give out this address. And of course, it reads out the address of Toei Animation. Oda, please send all letters for One Piece animators to the above address. Even one postcard from a viewer, or reader in my case, even one sentence can give us a huge boost of energy. Same. Y'all don't know what energy, how much of a morale boost it is when you receive a compliment or a comment from a viewer, and us seeing that, it's such a monumental thing. Like, you're sitting there, you're just chilling, you're not really thinking about too much. Then you get a comment saying like, I like how you did this, I enjoyed myself, or thank you for this, or you made my day brighter, stuff, just different examples. But seeing that is all like, you don't have no idea. Words truly do have an influence over the body. All it takes is just that one word, or that one sentence, or that one compliment for a person's entire disposition to just completely change. Their entire energy to be almost like refilled in that one moment. So it's crazy how that works. So just like animators, just like me, and just like the animators, and basically anyone who has a job and stuff like that, words carry so much weight. It's amazing what they can do for people when they're used in a positive way. Once in a while, I get letters addressed to me personally complimenting the animators. It would be nice if you would send those comments directly to them. Reader! Dalton, leader of the Drum Island Civilian Guard, always answers questions with bits of unnecessary information. Is that just because he's a nice person? Oda, he does add unnecessary comments, doesn't he? I guess it's because he's a nice person, yes. Oh, and by the way, he loves chestnut rice. So it just leads on with the gag of him adding on unnecessary comments. Chapter 154, on to Alabasta. Django's Dance Heaven, Volume 22, the mighty captain of the Navy's main fleet. And it shows Full Body dealing with all of these tulip pirates who still have their hands, some of them still have their hands fashioned in the shape of like flower petals, as he's just basically bodying so many of them with his brass knuckles, so casually. And then we get narration. In time, the tale of Hiriluk's cherry blossoms shining in the night would become a symbol of this nameless nation's hard-won freedom. But the birth of a new country with its unusual flag is a story for another time. And then it cuts to later because it shows the Mary sailing off into the distance away from Drum Island, but with the whole atmosphere of the whole country still covered in pink. Then it cuts to the castle. They must have set sail by now. A reindeer continuing the legacy of a great physician.
If Hiriluk could bring cherry blossoms to this frozen land, then I suppose a silly reindeer can become a pirate. He thinks he's a man.
This country will reinvent itself too, just like he did. Dalton! Huh? I'm sorry, I just remembered something very important. What is it? Look at this! That's him! No mistake! Huh? There's a bounty of 30 million berries on that boy's head. Huh.
That's very impressive.
Where'd you get this? Sorry, I forgot to tell you. About a week ago, a traveler appeared in Robelu town. It was a strange day. It didn't snow. We don't know how he got there, but he said he was pursuing Blackbeard, the pirate who ravaged our country. When we told him that Blackbeard was long gone, then let me ask you one question. Has a pirate wearing a straw hat come through here? Says this individual with a big old hat on his face, with a big old hat on his head. I told him I'd never seen such a person, so he gave me this poster and said, if he shows up here, tell him I'll be waiting for him in Alabasta for 10 days. Make sure you tell him. And then the dude just points. Hey, wait! What's your name? Oh yeah, I almost forgot. The name's Ace. If Luffy shows up, just tell him what I said. He'll understand. Hey, catch that guy! He didn't pay for his food! Huh? Oops. Thanks. And then this Ace person just takes off through the town. He's a dine and dasher, apparently. I see. But there's no need to pass on that message. Huh? Why not? Because they're headed for Alabasta now. Just a hunch of mine. I have the feeling I've seen you somewhere before.
It must be your imagination.
I don't know why you're traveling with pirates, but you must have your reasons. Anyway, you've grown to be a fine woman. Dalton knew it was Vivi. Dalton knew that Vivi was a princess. He already knew. He knew because he remembers her. He's not the type of individual to be all like, I swear I saw you somewhere before. But after seeing just how she behaves, he knew. He knew it was Vivi. Dr. Kureha, what's wrong? You seem so distant.
Have you ever heard of Gold D. Roger?
D? You mean Gold Roger? There's not a soul in the world who hasn't heard of him.
Is that what he's called now? It seems our reindeer will get more than he bargained for. So the will of D lives on.
This is the first mention of the will of D. Chapter 154. This is the first mention of the will of D. And also the first time that Gold Roger's name is written out Gold D. Roger. This is the first instance where it's written that way. And then it cuts to the Mary, and Luffy's just having fun. messing with Zoro, Sanji, and Usopp.
This is great! There's a full moon and a sky full of cherry blossoms.
Chopper! Hey, Chopper, you just gonna sit there and stare all night?
Come on, drink! Come here and drink!
Nami, look! I learned this from Yosaku!
Those cherry blossoms were great. I never expected to see a sight like that in Snow Country.
Yeah, this calls for a celebration.
Hey, you guys! Can't you show a little sympathy for them?
Why? Karu's alive. What's the big deal?
Karu! How did you end up frozen in the river? Ah!
And then apparently Karu was in the river frozen.
Karu!
Probably just slipped, huh? Clumsy.
Shut up, Mr. Bushido! Karu says that Zoro was swimming in the river and he disappeared, so he dove in to save him and got frozen. It was your fault!
And Nami just comes up behind Zoro and just bops him in the back of the head.
You can understand what Karu says, Chopper? Sure, I'm originally an animal, you know.
That's amazing, Chopper. Then medicine isn't your only talent.
Stupid, I'm completely immune to your flattery, you silly.
And then Chopper's all like,
Nah, don't compliment me, you jerk.
he's just taking in all the compliments.
You don't seem that immune.
Goes Luffy and Usopp.
Nami, what was that about medicine?
What? You're a doctor, Chopper?
You didn't know? Then what was it about Chopper that impressed you so much?
He's a reindeer that can do 7 transformations.
An emergency food supply.
We understand where the Paimon's emergency food joke comes from now.
An emergency food supply.
Oh! Darn it! I came down the mountain so quickly I forgot my medical supplies.
What's this? It was on the sleigh.
My backpack, but how?
Well, you must have put it there. Didn't you pack for the journey? The doctor, she knew what you were thinking all along. She's a good person.
And then it cuts to Luffy and Usopp doing that same joke. Doing that same joke that Yosaku was doing, like sticking sticks in his nose and stretching his lip out and then just holding up like a basket. I never understood what that joke is. It must be a Japanese thing because I have no idea the appeal of that joke. And then they're just laughing and Nami goes,
Quiet, you two! Hey, Chopper, what is yours?
and then Luffy saying this because he can't close his mouth. So he's saying, hey, Chopper, want to join us? And then it cuts to Chopper, who just immediately joins them.
Enough!
And then it cuts to Usopp.
All right, attention, everyone. We have a new crew member.
Karu, are you okay?
Ah!
Rotten cook, make some more food.
Huh? What'd you call me? I don't take no orders from you. Let's all give a big welcome to our new ship's doctor, Tony Chopper!
Hey, Sanji, don't we have any more dinosaur meat? Didn't we load up on that? Let's toast a Chopper! And then everyone cheers.
This is the most fun I've ever had!
To our new shipmate! Hooray!
And then everyone on the ship just cheers as Chopper is officially welcomed to the Straw Hat Pirates.
And so the merry ghost sailed for the desert kingdom of Alabasta at maximum speed. Backtracking a bit.
Please forgive me, Mr. Tubon Clay.
Little Garden, the island of giants.
Hey, why are you? Hey, why are you? And then it cuts to,
This ain't no joke. Just who do you think I am? This ain't no joke. Just who do you think I am? I'm a follower of the Oh Come My Way lifestyle. Oh Come My Way! I'm the follower of the Oh Come My Way lifestyle.
Bon Clay, a.k.a. Mr. 2, officer of Baroque Works. And Mr. 2 is just like a big old dude, big tall dude, slightly hairy legs wearing ballerina flats, and a very extravagant and flamboyant outfit with tons of makeup on and swan motifs across his cape.
Now tell me, what were Zero's orders? To get To get rid of Mr. 3 between Alabasta and Little Garden.
Right. And so we stayed on course all the way from Alabasta to here. Yeah, and yet we reached Little Garden without even seeing him! No. Perhaps you missed Mr. 3 and let him get away?
No, that's impossible.
Then how did we come all the way here without seeing him? Am I an idiot? Mr. Idiot? Miss Idiot? Which?
No, Mr.
Silence! In any case, I can't afford to fail in a simple mission like disposing of Mr. 3, especially now. Failure is not an option. If I mess up, Mr. 1 and his partner will kill me. Ain't no joke.
I love that about Von Clay.
Do you understand? If you don't want to end up a victim of my Oh Come My Way Kempo, find him! Find Mr. 3! Take the Swanda back to Alabasta at full speed. Understand? Don't let a single vessel get by us, not even a rowboat.
Aye, aye, Mr. 2 Bon Clay, sir.
Sandy Island, Alabasta.
What? Pirates running amok in Alabasta? Don't they know that I'm here?
A country in rebellion attracts pirates, Sir Crocodile. Are you going?
Well, I must keep up appearances. The 7 warlords of the sea are pirates who crush pirates. We're heroes to the masses.
And then Crocodile apparently is going to be going to handle some other pirates that made their way to another section of Alabasta. That's the end of chapter 154. Onwards to the last chapter? Yes, the last chapter of this volume, chapter 155, Sir Crocodile the Pirate. Django's Dance Heaven, volume 23. So long, you stupid Navy guys, as Django makes his escape from the Mirrorball Festival area and escapes on a ship. Sandy Island, Alabasta. The port town of Nanohana. I remember going through this when I was playing One Piece Odyssey. They just had to add DLC to the game that includes characters that should have been there in the beginning. Still upset about that.
Sir Crocodile!
Sir Crocodile!
Huh? Oh, Sir Crocodile! I knew he would come! Crocodile? Huh? It can't be.
Crocodile! Crocodile!
Of the 7 warlords of the sea?
Crocodile!
Silence, you ignorant peasants! I've only come for the heads of those pirates.
My hero!
He always says that when he comes to save us. Hooray for Sir Crocodile! The guardian deity of Alabasta! Crocodile! Crocodile! The king of the desert, Sir Crocodile!
And Crocodile is standing up high up on the building looking down at all the pirates, messing up the square. And we finally see Crocodile's face.
Oh well, call me what you will. But anyway, you pirates think you can plunder Alabasta at will, eh?
Sir Crocodile, one of the 7 warlords of the sea, former bounty, 81 million berries. And he's a tall dude, very tall dude, wearing like a mafia boss type motif outfit with a massive scar going across his whole face and a hook for a hand on his left where his left hand should be.
Don't take us lightly. You think you can handle all of us by yourself? You're no hero. You're just a government dog who sold his sword and his soul.
Those of you who wish to live, take cover.
The scurvy snake, he'll be easy prey for us. Get him! This town's treasure will be ours!
As it cuts to all of these pirates holding up their swords, and they all stab into Crocodile. And this one heftier pirate goes,
Gah! Now there's only 6 warlords of the sea.
And Crocodile does not look amused at all. And he just looks at him. And then the entire area erupts.
the entire area erupts, and the next we see is Crocodile standing in the midst of, the bodies of these pirates, as if a sandstorm has just whipped up.
I'm a different breed of pirate, swine.
Then it cuts to the citizens, as all the pirates, it cuts to the citizens as the pirates have been defeated, and the one that was mouthing off the most, we just see a mummified version of his corpse just laying on the ground. And then Crocodile walks off. Crocodile! 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 And he's walking off with a big old haul of loot, and he's just walking away into the desert, away from the people of Nanohana. Alabarna Palace, Kingdom of Alabasta.
He beat us to it again? By the time we reached Nanohana, it was all over. I see, but at least the citizens are safe. We are indebted to him.
Nefeltari Cobra, King of Alabasta. And then it cuts to Luffy, who's just like trying to whistle and goes like, really? I don't know anything.
Then why won't you look at me? Look me in the eye. Now answer me. I loaded this ship with enough food to last us all the way to Alabasta. So how did it disappear in one night? Don't try to fool me. Your face doesn't lie.
Hey, what's that in your mouth?
It's food!
It was you! And then Sanji kicks Luffy to the other side of the ship, because apparently Luffy basically raided the food and just ate it of his own accord. And then it cuts to Karoo, Chopper, and Usopp, who are secretly eating food as well.
Huh?
Nami! See what I'm up against? I need a refrigerator with a lock!
All right, I'll think about it. Our lives may depend on it.
As it shows Luffy in the background, dust still falling off of him from getting kicked by Sanji. But also, it shows Usopp, Chopper, and Karoo eating food too. Nami and Vivi notice them eating food, but they're wondering, like, what are they doing over there? Because it has a narration title card that says that all three of them are equally guilty of raiding food, just like Luffy.
I better do some fishing. For Sanji. Ah!
And then Chopper doesn't say anything. And then it cuts to Chopper, Usopp, and Karoo, who are all down on the ground because Sanji got to them too.
Hero? Sir Crocodile is a hero in Alabasta? The 7 warlords of the sea are pirates in the pay of the world government. The citizens really don't care whether they chase the pirates off for treasure or the Navy does it for the sake of justice. Either way, the threat is eliminated.
So, some guy this hero is.
And then Zoro's just out cold, just sleeping everything off. This dude is a stone when he's not fighting somebody.
Some hero this guy is, and no one even suspects that his real goal is to take over Alabasta.
Whatever, I just have to kick this crocodile's butt, right?
Yes, if we can end the rebellion and expel Baroque works from Alabasta, the kingdom will be saved.
But just what kind of outfit is this Baroque works? I mean, what's with all those numbers?
Baroque works.
And then Zoro just gets up, still in a daze from sleeping.
Their system is simple. Sir Crocodile, alias Mr. Zero, is at the top. And taking orders directly from him are the agents, 12 people, and a beast. They all have code names. The men are numbers, the women are days. Each man is paired with an equally lethal woman. Mr. 13 and Miss Friday are special. They execute any agents who fail. All agents from Mr. 5 up are called officer agents. Most of them have devil fruit powers. They handle the most important missions. After them come the frontier agents. They command the lower operatives and collect booty for the company at the entrance to the Grand Line. That's the criminal organization known as Baroque Works.
So, if we go through here, because Oda was kind enough to draw an entire panel that shows the entire hierarchy of everyone in Baroque Works. At the top, President, Mr. 0, paired with Miss All Sunday. Mr. 1, paired with Miss Doublefinger. Mr. 2, no female partner, he doesn't want one. Mr. 3, paired with Miss Golden Week. Mr. 4, paired with Miss Merry Christmas. Mr. 5, paired with Miss Valentine, who we've already encountered before. Mr. 6, paired with Miss Mother's Day. Mr. 7, paired with Ms. Father's Day. Mr. 8, paired with Ms. Monday. Mr. 9, paired with Ms. Wednesday, aka Vivi. Mr. 10, paired with Ms. Tuesday. Mr. 11, paired with Ms. Thursday. And Mr. 12, paired with Ms. Saturday. Then we have, between Mr. 5 and Mr. 6, Ms. Valentine and Ms. Mother's Day, we have the agents called Billions. Officer agents underlings. There's 200 agents in the Billions section. Then beneath Mr. 12, we have the Millions, which is 1,800 agents who are the Frontier agents underlings. Then underneath them, we have Mr. 13 and Miss Friday. Unluckies in charge of executions and communications. Basically, the otter and the vulture that we see flying around. They're at the bottom of the ladder, but they are the ones they're basically the cleanup crew from John Wick, if necessary. They're basically the cleanup crew. Oh yeah? Then we'll get this crocodile guy. We'll kick his butt. You didn't follow any of that, did you?
So, if Baroque Works' ultimate goal is the takeover of Alabasta, then the remaining officers will, yes, be coming together.
As it shows the remaining major agents all cloaked in shadow, right behind Crocodile. And that is the end of Volume 17 and the end of Chapter 155 of Volume 17. The next volume ought to be really interesting, ladies and gentlemen. We are now officially dumb. We are now officially dumb. We are now officially dumb. We are now officially done with the Drum Island arc. We have Chopper on the crew with us now, and now we're heading to Alabasta. And let me just say that Alabasta is one of my favorite arcs. And mind you, I was a kid at the time. I didn't know any better. So I was just thinking, like, I really enjoyed the Alabasta arc at the 4Kids tab, but I was a kid at the time. So now I get to experience this entire arc, because this entire Alabasta arc, it really is something special in terms of character development, abilities and powers, how the story gets pushed forward. It's one of the arcs that I remember the most, and I'm looking forward to it. You would have thought the Unluckies should be higher. You would think, since they're in charge of executions and communications, and they're the only beast pair of the entire Baroque Works organization. You would think they would be ranked higher than someone like, the Frontier agents, since they're the most important and everyone fears them whenever they show up. You would think. But, yeah. I guess that's just not how it works. People probably would have something to say about animals being ranked higher than them, or something of that nature, and it would probably cause some dissent in between the ranks, which is something I'm pretty sure Crocodile does not want. Maybe. I don't know. But I'm done, ladies and gentlemen. This was yet another fantastic read of One Piece. Today, we are going to be covering more of Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom as we head to the Gerudo settlement and take care of that last settlement so we can find out what's happening in the story. There's so much ground to cover, and yeah, I'm looking forward to having another session with you guys on Zelda, so I'm looking forward to it. But then when you ask about it, they're practically pets taking orders. Yeah, they're practically pets. But this was a fantastic read. I was happy to share it all with you. We will continue tomorrow with Volume 18. I'm looking forward to it. Then we'll take a break on Sunday, as is per the norm, and continue on Monday once again. So to everyone here, whether you're new here or you've been here for a while, all I can say to everyone is, I am so honored to do this. I'm so honored. Even if it's just you guys. I could just have you guys here in chat. And I'm more than content. Hopefully, I just hope that this is able to reach more and more people, especially people who are curious about One Piece, but didn't want to get into the chapters themselves, or not the anime. This could be like another way that they can experience One Piece. Hopefully, this is able to reach people just as much as my Demon Slayer series and My Hero series, and basically any other series I've done. Hopefully, this is able to reach more people and entertain them as well. But I'm perfectly content just having you guys here. But the more the merrier. I'm just grateful that I can do this for you and for me because I'm doing this for me as well, because I need to do this. As a One Piece fan, I feel like it's only fair that I read the series all the way through so that I don't leave anything out and be all like, well, I never read that chapter. That's no longer going to be a thing anymore because I'm going to read every single one. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. I love doing this. I never get tired of doing this. This is one of the reasons why I wake up, and you guys truly make this full-time job of mine truly fulfilling. And I just want to say thank you. You bless me because of what you do. So thank you. Hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then like, subscribe, share this stream with everyone you know, because the more the merrier. And maybe even consider becoming a member, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples.